So first, congratulations on being inducted into the LSUA Athletics Hall of Fame.
Thank you so much.
When you received the call from Assistant Vice Chancellor for Intercollegiate Athletics, Tyler Unsicker, what was your reaction?
I was actually kind of thrown off initially because I was wondering why he was calling me. As a previous coach over there, I thought he was maybe just reaching out to, update me on something going on with the program. And then he led on saying, I'm just calling to inform you of the first women's soccer inductee into the Hall of Fame named Chandler Kammerer. And I was very shocked to hear that. I don't think my excitement came off as it was going on inside to him, but I was really excited and surprised.
How did you end up at LSUA?
Really the sport of soccer and college, obviously. I was a senior in high school and my dad went out into all my games and recorded me and set up a little recruiting website for me and put my profile on there. And then, I got reached out by Coach Porpat at the time. And, we got on a phone call and with the help of my dad again, he wrote up a couple questions for me to ask. And, I visited in April of 2014 and then signed while I visited there. And then July 31st, we made the trip down and that was the journey.
You don't hear many people signing while they're on their visit.
Yeah, well, I don't know. It was just, I saw the campus, I met all the people, and when they say Southern hospitality is real, it really was and is. But also, I think it being the first year of the soccer program really was, a winner for me because being a part of something brand new, I didn't know what I was in for, but it ended up being really exciting and great. So it was really, really cool to be a part of the first year program.
What do you miss most about your time at LSUA?
I think really just the community of being a student athlete. I mean, not only are you with the soccer girls just about every day of your, time at school, but also you meet all the other student athletes and you spend so much time with them and they really become like family to you. So just having that instant, community and friends right there I think that's what I miss the most.
Looking back, would you do anything differently in your time at LSUA?
That's a great question. I don't think I would, only because, between the great and the not so great, it turned out exactly, I believe, how it should have been. So no, I don't think I would change anything.
Do you have any advice for future or current student athletes at LSUA?
If I were to say anything to current, future athletes, I think it would be just to enjoy the moment, really. When people say the 4 years or however long you're there for will fly by, it really does. And you'll look back and be like, oh my gosh, that was so long ago. So every day, whether it's a tough practice or, you had a tough game or a bad game or, even the good games, enjoy every moment of it because it really will go by in the blink of an eye. And you never want to look back and be like, oh, I should have done this. I should have done that. So really just enjoy the moment. And when you're in the moment, kind of soak in it and just give it everything you've got.
You had quite a few moments at LSUA from being on the first team to the regular season championship in 2017. But do you have a moment or two that sticks out to you as your most memorable?
I believe those most memorable moments are in that season of 2017 where we did do so well. We went undefeated at home and then, yes, we won regular season conference. And I think my most favorable moment is the game against Hudson-Tillotson where we won the conference. Us and Hudson-Tillotson, we were tied for conference, so whoever won that game would have won. So we won, And, I actually had the 2 winning goals during that game. And also the fact that my dad was actually there. So he came down and visited. Being from Maryland, didn't really have a ton of family to support me on the field. But he actually came down, made a visit, and then was there for that whole moment. And, just that day entirely was awesome. I remember it from beginning to end.
During your time at LSUA, or even after you graduated, did you ever imagine that you would end up in the Athletics Hall of Fame?
What? Who even thinks of that? I didn't even know it was possible, to be honest. So no, going in, coming to play soccer at LSUA, I didn't even think about winning the things that I've won. Nevertheless, winning and getting inducted into the Hall of Fame at LSUA. So no, I didn't know it was possible, and that's not really a goal that I shot for, but here we are, and I'm very appreciative.
In that same spirit, how does it feel to be the first women's soccer player inducted?
I think it goes back to the original question. I'm just surprised and amazed and very grateful to be able to have my name on that, and to kind of be almost like, I guess, a face for the women's soccer program at LSUA, because it's such a wonderful program. We've had so much talent come through. I've played with, helped coach, and, just watched on the sidelines some amazing talent that's come through. And for me to, have won that is very cool.
You were a first-team All-Red River Athletic Conference selection, part of the 2017 regular season championship program, and that same year you won the Red River Defensive Player of the Year, as well as being a member of that first crop of LSUA players. Apart from your talent, what would you say was the biggest reason for your success?
So if you look at that, all of that kind of came in my senior year, 2017 season. I would say that there was a big shift that summer going into my senior year. You're about to graduate. What are you going to do? What are you going to do after soccer? And I kind of reflected on that. And I believe there was a big shift in being more intentional and kind of just making things better for myself. And I think I went into it with the mindset of, I don't want to look back and wish I could have done more, could have done better. So I was definitely more intentional with how I showed up to practice, how I showed up to class, how I led my teammates. And I really believe that intent got me the success that I really wasn't, shooting for. But at the end, that's what it got me.
Those building blocks that I think you finally realized as a senior that you probably didn't have as a sophomore or a junior.
Yeah, and I think, maybe all along I had the tools, but I wasn't properly, putting them in place and putting my focus exactly where it should have been.
So can you catch us up on what you've been up to since you graduated from LSUA?
So after graduating from LSUA in 2018, I, kind of stepped into the health and fitness world and was a health coach, personal trainer for several years, and then kind of felt another shift in my passion, or the way that I went about the passion for caring for others. And I actually went back to nursing school at LSUA in 2022, started my clinicals spring of 23, and then I just graduated about a year ago now, last December, with my nursing degree. And ever since then, I've been working at a local hospital, Cabrini, in the neonatal ICU.
You've been sticking around the area.
I've been sticking around the area.
Even came back to LSUA a second time.
I did, because it's so great. Yeah, it was good. The nursing program is wonderful. So yeah.
And you were an assistant coach for a season or two here, right?
Correct. Yeah. After I graduated, initially, I helped Naya as an assistant coach. And then when Mark Hammonds came back to lead the women's team, he asked me to be an assistant coach as well. And that was awesome, being able to team up with him and lead the girls. It was fun.
Well, good. That's all the questions I have. Is there anything else you'd like to add? Anything we left out?
I don't think there's anything specific that I'd like to add other than a big thank you to everyone, who had a voice in making this decision, and, to my family, to my friends, to my teammates. I really think that's it. A big thank you to everyone who's helped me get here.
Perfect. Thank you for taking the time out today to speak with us. And again, congratulations on your induction, and we look forward to seeing you at the ceremony.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Caleb, for taking the time out today as well.
Perfect. Thank you. Have a good one.
Thank you. You too.